Hi there, this is Joe and this is SquareXO episode 67. Welcome. Now this is the first time we've recorded on video with all four of us, so say hello to Dan.
Hello.
Nicole.
Hello.
And Rebecca.
Hi.
Yeah, so we're all here, so that's good. It's the first time. It took us a while to set it up, but we've done it, so yay. Before we start, don't forget to follow us at squarexo.co.uk, on twitter.com/square_XO and patreon.com/squarexo. If you follow us on Patreon, you can get nice incentives like the mug. You can see it behind me. There's also a badge too. I think that's up there. Yeah, there it is. Look, little badge. Might be able to see it. Where's the camera? SquareXO. Right, there you go. So, yeah, stuff like that. 10% off the wonderful insert coin if you're a patron at £5 or more, and also 10% off Monster Shop if you're a patron of £5 or more. So awesome. Is it £5 or $5? I don't know.
$5.
$5. Okay, $5. Visit our website, of course, for the latest reviews, competitions, and more. And enter our cracking screenshot competition, SquareXO July, where you just press the share button on your PS4, share the screenshot with the hashtag SquareXO July. Not SquareXO July, but SQXO July. It couldn't be simpler. It's easy, easy peasy. We're on iTunes, we're on Spotify, we're on Podbean, and we're on YouTube. So wherever you want to listen, watch, we're there. So yeah, brilliant. Google soon, hopefully. Okay, now that all that's out the way, we can probably start. Yes. Oh, I've just got some Darksiders free news on an email. Let's talk about that, shall we? Since it's my favourite game ever. I did actually write this down slightly because I saw Major Nelson tweet about it, but I think this... Oh my god. I think this news is probably more breaking, shall we say. Pre-order now for special discounts and early access to exclusive content and celebrate Darksiders with the Collectors and Apocalypse editions. Is my face lighting up? Probably.
Yeah.
THQ today announced that hack and slash action adventure Darksiders 3, currently in development at Gunfire Games, is scheduled to release worldwide on November 27th, 2018 for PS4, PC and Xbox One. THQ also launched a comprehensive pre-order campaign for Darksiders 3 designed to reward fan base whose patience and loyalty is second to none. That's me they're talking about. Players who pre-ordered Darksiders 3 at participating retailers will receive the game plus the Fury exclusive armor DLC, a completely original skin for Fury's base armor that will set it apart and always be visible during gameplay. Fury's exclusive armor will be available on launch day, November 27th. Players who pre-ordered Darksiders 3 from PlayStation Store or Microsoft Store will have a choice of 3 distinct pre-order opportunities featuring exclusive in-game content, special discounts, and 24-hour early access to Darksiders 3. So you only get 24-hour access if you pre-order the digital copy, do you? Hopefully I'll be reviewing it and I'll get access way before that then. The specifics of these 3 pre-order opportunities are detailed somewhere else, but I won't go into that part, but I've written it down. And they also created 2 limited edition SKUs that celebrate all things Darksiders in every way. Darksiders mega fans will have the choice of a Collector's or Apocalypse edition. Right, now this is a good part. I've only got it in video, so I can't really get the video up at the moment, but I can read what's in them. The Darksiders 3 Collector's Edition will include a premium box, a Fury figurine, oh yes, original steelbook, art book, soundtrack, Darksiders 3 game, exclusive armour. The Apocalypse Edition, now this will be interesting, comes in I presume this is a more expensive one. This comes with a premium box, wall scroll, 4 figurines, Fury, Vulgrim, Ward and Death, each about 25 centimetres high. Oh my lord. Heavyweight amulet with necklace, original steelbook, art book, soundtrack, Darksiders 3. I'm saving up for that Apocalypse edition. If you're watching Gunfire Games, that's the one I want. I bet that sounds expensive, doesn't it?
It does sound expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
I want that. I want it. I'm so excited. Yes, so there we go. Breaking news. And breaking news from my favourite franchise. So even
Do
better.
you think, you were saying about if you pre-order on the stores, you get 24 hours early access.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a misleading term, because normally when you order from online, you get it a day or two, possibly early as well, don't you? So it's kind of, you're going to get 24 hours early access, but it's not earlier than what you'd get it if you ordered online still.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's a bit of a misnomer, isn't it?
It depends if you get it early or not. It's hard to know, innit? But
Yeah.
anyway, I was just seeing if I could find a wee image here, but I doubt it. I've got a link to the video, but I don't really want to start playing videos right now, because that would just be silly. I'll just play it in the background. Gaming news. Okay. Oh, look. I found it. I have to show you this. I know people listening won't see it, but I just have to show you. That figure of war looks awesome. Right, I'm just trying to find a picture all free with that. It's a bit hard to see in this picture, but I'll hold up the screen if I can.
You can kind of tell that one of us is really excited for this game, and the other three are just like sat here.
You can't really see
Like,
it.
what's that?
You can't really see it. I'll hold it right up to my screen, but you can sort of see the figures. I'll need to have a proper look later. Yes, I'm very excited. You might be able to tell that. Very excited. Oh. Right, okay, anyway. I did have that written down, sort of, but I never had all the details. I don't know. There's not really a lot of other gaming news anyway. To be honest, it's been pretty quiet this week, so let's see what else we've got. I'm melting. Far Cry 5, I was about to say Darksiders again. Far Cry 5 now has a photo mode.
Oh yeah, I've seen. Everyone's taking pictures of Puma.
I've not used it. I've not really played Far Cry 5 for a while. I will be playing it eventually, because I've played it a bit, but then I got distracted. I might go back to it because I was quite enjoying it actually. But yeah, I'll need to check that out. The one actually checked it out now.
No, I keep meaning to go back to Far Cry 5, but just got too much stuff to do, so gotta wait.
Shenmue HD's re-release finally gets a date. I didn't care about it that much, so I didn't write down the date, but I'm sure Dan will know what it is.
August 21st.
See, I knew you knew. That's why I never write it down.
I won't spend 5 minutes talking about it, though.
Shenmue. Right.
Not long, though. Just over a month.
And another game you sort of like, A Way Out Studio, their new game's going to be published by EA as well.
Okay. I haven't seen anything about that. That's
really,
good.
There's not really any details about it, but it's just basically...
Is that still under the same label that they did before, where the EA, was it EA Originals or something like that? So EA basically funded it, but all the money went to Hazelight. Or is it now are EA going to take a cut?
I'd imagine it's probably the same deal.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of details, but I just thought I'd mention it because I know you like that game. Also, oh look, the next bit of news was Darksiders 3 available for pre-order. that was it. There's charts, of course. Crash Bandicoot's #1. Jurassic World.
Is that 2 weeks in a run? 2 weeks in a row now.
Seems that way. Jurassic World Evolution #2. The Crew 3's dropped to number. The Crew 2's dropped to #3. Sorry. FIFA 18 4, Mario Tennis 5, God of War 6, Mario Kart 8 is 7, Far Cry 5 is 8. All these numbers after the games.
It's like bingo.
I know all these numbers after the games is making me go 8, 6, 4, 2. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is 9 and Fallout 4 is 10. Please stop putting bloody numbers after your... Oh, it's just so freaking annoying. Game charts.
Where was GTA?
I don't know. I've threw my iPad away now, so
Oh no!
It's there somewhere.
We always need to know what GTA is.
It's in the chart somewhere. We know that. Right.
Well, obviously.
So that's it. I'm melting. I can't do it anymore. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Quiet news week then.
Yes,
not
it
very
was.
busy.
Yes.
That sort of, I guess, ties into what we're going to talk about next, which is the notorious and repetitive summer drought of gaming where we have all these big releases at the start of the year, we have all these big releases at the end of the year, but in the middle of the year there's sort of not too much going on. I did just have a look through all the big releases of this year. So for example, January you've got Monster Hunter, you've got the Shadow of the Colossus remake in Feb, Far Cry 5 in March, God of War in April. You've got Detroit in May, so still quite a big game, but it's not one of the bigger games.
Still quite niche, isn't it?
Yeah, and then there's Vampire, which obviously is a really good game, but it's not as big as that. July was really hard to find anything that was, I guess, what you would call like a big AAA title. Captain Toad is coming very soon, I think next week. And then you've got Octopath Traveler as maybe some of the standout ones. August, it's very quiet again. You've obviously got Shenmue, you've got We Happy Few. And then it picks up again in September when we've got Tomb Raider, we've got Spider-Man. And then October, we've got Red Dead. I think, is FIFA October or is FIFA September? One of those two.
September.
Yeah, so I always think it's a bit weird that we have big chunk of games at the start of the year, nothing in the middle, and then another big chunk of games at the bottom of the year. We're just going to talk about how we felt about that. I'll go first. I'll get my say out of the way, and then I'll hand it over to you guys. I think I don't mind it. I'm going to say the same reason that I'm sure a lot of people will say, is that I can actually catch it with my backlog. But now that I'm a reviewer and I'm doing a lot of freelance work for other websites, I'm really finding that I don't have a summer drought anymore. It seems to be like every day I'm getting like, can you review this? Can you review this? Or I play a game and I think I really want to write an opinion piece about this. So I don't really feel like it's a drought because of how busy I've been this year. But in previous years, I have definitely relished in having, I guess, a few months off from the big releases where you can just catch up on your backlog, play games that you've had to push aside for other new releases, maybe go back and play something that you enjoyed but you haven't played in a while. So I see it as a good thing in that way. But for me right now, for how July and even June have been, I don't really feel like there's a break from gaming. I'm sort of still very into gaming. I'm still doing it every day. But at the same time, I think that it's harder to game in the summer months because of the weather outside. I really struggle to sit inside and play on my PlayStation when it's this hot outside. I don't want to be in here. I want to be out there. So it's hard to... I think even if there was a big title coming out, I think I would struggle to, dedicate, 2 to 3 hours on it the same way I would a big title coming out in the colder months. So I like it. I think it's nice to have that break to actually catch up. But right now, I don't really feel like there's any break at all. But that's just because of how busy I am. But yeah, I think I don't see anything wrong with it. It's been that way for years now, so I, just imagine it's the set way now. Just gonna carry on.
Yeah, like I said before, I'm not really big in gaming in the summer anyway, so I quite like the drought. I quite like the fact that it all slows down. There's a lot of announcements in June, what with E3 and that, and I think, I don't know, probably sales slow down in June, July. People are going on holiday, the weather's nice, so they probably think to themselves, well, why should we release games now? Because nobody's going to buy them. Nobody's really that interested in buying games in the summer. They've probably done their market research. I mean, if they thought they would sell 1 million copies of a game in July, you can bet they would release it in July.
Yeah.
Well, didn't Naughty Dog release The Last of Us in June?
It was... I know they released Lost Legacy in August last year.
I'm sure that The Last of Us came out in June.
Yeah, it did.
I think it's a missed opportunity for a lot of businesses to release something now and pump some money into it. I don't understand why they load up September and October with so many games when a lot of the population can only afford to buy 1 or 2 games a month. Why not spread them out? I don't get it.
Yeah, it's when you look at
Christmas, isn't it?
But there's Christmas every year. Like Christmas comes at the same time every year. You don't need to release it all 2 months before Christmas.
Yeah, but they do, so there's a reason for that. They wouldn't, like I say, they must do it for a reason, because otherwise they wouldn't do it. They would release in June and July if they thought they could. If they thought they would get the same sales that they would in October, September, or whatever.
I think they'd get more sales.
More sales.
Because the game would be out longer.
Yeah.
So
maybe.
why not release something now and then just in if you're worried, then in October just do a marketing push to remind people that it's out.
Like this work like that, because once a game releases, all it does ever is drop off. The most sales you're ever going to get is when the game first comes out.
Tell that to Rockstar with GTA 5.
Yeah, but they've never sold
or
more.
EA with FIFA.
They've never sold more once it's released, though.
I bet they have.
I doubt they've ever sold more than what they do on the release day. I don't think many games would manage that feat, really. Because they just get drowned and disappear, don't they? If you release your game in June, and then...
Well, it does if you release in September.
Yeah.
Look at the releases in September this year. It's ridiculous. Like, release something in July, give us a chance to play it, and then a chance to play something else.
But you see what I'm saying, though? If you release something in July, then September comes along, and there's pure tons of games out, your game that you released in July is just going to get forgot about.
But at least people bought it and weren't spending their money on another game.
As many buy it as they would have in September.
I think.
Well, no, there's more choice.
Like, look at February next year. Look at February the 22nd.
Yeah, the 22nd. Yeah,
that's ridiculous. Like that. I feel like one of them will. I don't know. I feel like one of them's got to chicken out of that date.
It must be Anthem. I reckon it's just going to be pushed back to something.
It won't be done. Yeah, that's what I think.
I think out of all of them, it's going to be pushed back. But it's silly when you think about it. I mean, when you look to the kind of the later months in the year when like Battlefield, Call of Duty, all kind of big multiplayer see a release at the same time, you think, you know, people, like you say, people are just going to go and buy one of those titles. They're not necessarily going to go out and buy both. And you think that maybe these titles would do a lot better if maybe like Call of Duty came out in the summer, you know, when all the kids are off school, because although it's an 18, you know, there's plenty of youngsters that play it. It's just weird that maybe they could actually kind of top the competition because they're constantly at war with each other. They could actually probably top the competition if they released in the summer months when it's a bit quieter.
But then saying that, if you release Call of Duty in November and then release the next one in July, it's not even much time between them. You would need to kind of...
You have to miss a year.
Advance, couldn't they? It doesn't necessarily have to be like, you know, just, you know, a couple of years in advance plan that they need to have a new game ready. You know, I think it would definitely, you know, help them better, like the likes of Battlefield and that. And especially, you look at all the Royale games and that now, they've kind of got competition from that angle as well. And, you know, it might help them stand out a bit better if they kind of look to the quieter months to see a release.
I can see games like this, Battlefield, Call of Duty, not that, going to a sort of games as service thing anyway. So I think eventually games like that, I mean, Fortnite basically is a games as service thing. They always have battle pass every, it feels like every 2 minutes. I don't know how often it is. It feels like every 2 minutes though, because there's always somebody downstairs going, "Oh, can I get a new battle pass? I just bought one yesterday." But yeah, that game to me feels like it's going that way. And obviously, if that's going that way, then maybe Call of Duties and Battlefields will be all year round games anyway. Maybe they already are, sort of. I don't know. But like, FIFA's to me is an all year round game, so it doesn't really matter when it comes out. Because you play it the whole year, or I do. I mean,
but it makes sense in September because it's the start of the football season, isn't it? Pretty much. So FIFA makes sense in September.
Yeah. But I just think...
I was just thinking of something else.
Maybe we are not... maybe we are not... What's the word? Maybe we're in the minority because you say, oh, people can only afford to buy one game a month, but... How many people actually buy that many games, one a month? I know we're the minority in that we're sort of more core gamers, so we would buy a game a month maybe. But how many people actually? I don't know many people who actually buy more than a couple of 2, 3, 4 games a year.
Really, I know quite a few people who probably buy a little bit more than 4, but I don't know people who buy games every month. I know a few people who probably throughout the year they'll probably easily buy like 10 to 11, 12 games, but you know, they might be like 2 months that was a really good game, so they buy 2 in 1 month and they might not do anything. I just think it's strange. I was just thinking when Nicole said about the summer holidays, you would have thought that during the summer holidays when all the kids are off there would be more games released, but then does that sort of single out video games as a very adult thing? That's why they've done the releases when all the children are at school and can't get in the way of the grown-ups playing the video games.
No,
What?
they release them at Christmas so that adults pay for them.
Can pay for them. It's just
Yeah.
weird, like, because normally, obviously, January. I don't know if anyone here likes January. I feel like January is a very dull month. Like everyone's depressed over the new year. So obviously, I see why they release stuff then, but it just feels very strange that it almost feels like there's an unspoken rule that is, you know, January, February, March, April, possibly May, fine. September, October, November, December, fine. Those 2 months in the middle. No, not worth it. Don't bother.
I reckon if someone took a punt and did it, I think if it was a half decent game as well, I think they'd have quite a big success.
I agree.
Again, Naughty Dog did it with The Last of Us, and
Yeah, it
no
was
one's ever said that didn't sell as
but
well.
Naughty Dog, Rockstar, they can get away with that sort of thing. MD, there's not many that big. There's not many who are as big as Rockstar and Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog could release a game any time in the year, so could Rockstar, and you'd buy it even in January, whatever, second, Boxing Day, whatever. If a Naughty Dog or Rockstar game comes out, whatever date comes out, it'll sell. But it's a bit harder for somebody else, really, I think, especially if they don't have the marketing budget as Sony or Rockstar or Microsoft. If they're like somebody like THQ, although saying that, I kind of agree in that respect. Maybe if THQ released a game in July or June or whatever, maybe their marketing would stand out a bit more.
Yeah, they wouldn't have to spend it because there's nothing else on the shelves.
Yeah, so maybe there's two sides. I don't know, but I'm just thinking there must be some sort of reason that they don't do it, and they must know from market research or something that the games wouldn't sell that time of year. I guess that's.
Well, we're all gamers. Has anyone ever asked you, market research-wise, when you buy games? Like,
No.
No.
Exactly.
No, but there must be a reason. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but traditions to be broken. Release some good games in summer.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe, I don't know.
Did we get any comments from people listening?
Yes, forgot about that. Okay, let's have a look then. Phil Anderson, good surname that. He says, I have just over 150 physical unstarted games. A little drought isn't going to hurt. Saberman says, it's fine as it gives us time to reduce the game pile or revisit an old classic. Saying that, I'm looking forward to the big No Man's Sky update that is coming out in a few weeks. Thomas says, welcome respite for the wallet and a chance to play catch up in the back catalogue too. David Rest, what's that say? David Rest, hope I get his name right. David Rest Frido says it's necessary so my backlog doesn't hit triple digits. And Carol said perfect time to catch up on some games which I'm using the whole year for, to be honest. So there you go. Most people kind of seem quite satisfied.
The only reason people have got backlogs, though, is because so many big games are released at the same time.
Yeah, that's literally the problem.
So that argument's almost counterintuitive.
That's true.
You wouldn't have a backlog if games weren't all released in November.
Exactly.
So,
it gets to Christmas, and after Christmas...
I disagree with everyone's opinion.
Oh, because you're rich and can afford to buy loads of games. You can tell he's rich because he buys the England tops. I mean, who'd buy one of them? Waste of money.
I'm not talking about football.
Home, you going home.
At least we got there, eh? At least we got there.
Okay, yeah. Enough of that.
This time next week, we might be World Cup winners.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, any luck.
I would be happy for Gareth Southgate, but I wouldn't be very happy for Gary Lineker and all his cronies. I don't like them smug gits. But no, apart from that, I quite like Gareth Southgate. Actually, he's quite nice. He seems quite nice, so I'd be happy for him. But it won't happen. So it's all right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, let's stop talking about football. It's not a football podcast.
Yeah,
I'm really excited about football, but we won't talk about it. Right, what else then? What are we doing next?
Got any questions?
We've exhausted that
I got them
topic,
up here.
haven't we?
Yeah.
I'll bring the questions up on the screen. Who's reading them?
Me.
Go on.
Righto. So our first one is from Tony Sibley, who says, has a game inspired a real life hobby outside of gaming for anyone? I liked skating in games, so tried it in real life, or was good at game and photography, so I've started that. I mean, trying to think. I used to play the Tony Hawk's games way back when, and I did try to skateboard briefly afterwards.
It's a lot easier in Tony Hawk's, I think.
Yeah, you catch me like, grinding down any railings, put it that way. But I'd sit on the skateboard and go down the hill, which was a close second, I suppose. But other than that, I think the only other game that's really kind of inspired anything like that is Life is Strange with its photography. I went through a phase when I played it for the very first time where all I wanted to do was take pictures of things, and I don't know why. It was completely silly, but it really made me want to do that. But yeah, what about you guys?
All the games I play, all the games I play are so violent.
I was going to say, do you go around like killing priests, Becky?
Yeah, and I can't reenact anything in video games because I would get arrested. No, I can't really say. I can't even say photography because I did photography as an A-level for 2 years, so I was doing that before I was really into video games. I don't really think anything really.
Nothing for me.
No, it's quite. No.
It's a good question, but
it is a good question.
You need to ask more interesting people.
Yeah.
Okay. So our next one is from Llama Fluff 42. Who says, what genre of games do you generally avoid and what game, if any, made you change your mind? Now, I'm pretty sure we touched upon this before, because I distinctly remember saying that I avoid horror games because I don't like them. But equally, games that have a game that's kind of made me a bit more open to the horror genre. Like, I don't think I would have been playing games like Dying Light and Dead Island if it wasn't for it. But Bioshock actually kind of made me... it actually made me a bit more open to scarier games. I know it's not necessarily a horror game, but it is quite scary at times, and it kind of made me feel a bit braver. And I mean, I've played Until Dawn in that sense, and that scared the life out of me, but I don't think it was for Bioshock that I would have overcome that hurdle. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think I avoid horrors generally. I think probably my favourite, I'm split with my favourites. It's probably sports, but only one sport, football. No, I should say sports, football. Football games of like Football Manager and FIFA, and sort of action adventure games. So action adventure RPG. So kind of like Skyrim, Darksiders, anything like Last of Us, anything like that. Anything sort of quite narrative driven. I quite like. That's got a good story. And football, but horrors I don't really like, so that's kind of what I'd avoid. Dan?
I don't like first-person shooters or multiplayer games, so I avoid half of the releases every year.
Multiplayer games as well, I'd join you in that one.
No, I don't know. I just feel that everyone argues that the immersion's more on a first-person shooter game, but I feel that, in my opinion, I prefer a third-person game because you can see the character. So I don't like is the wrong term, but I don't feel like when I play a first person game that, I don't know, maybe I just don't like putting myself in that position. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of shooting games or people swearing at me online. So yeah, just avoid them really. I like Wolfenstein because I like the world. I like the kind of alternative universe that it's set in. So I'm willing to put my hatred aside for that. But that's it really. It's quite nice though because you get all these Far Cry games and all these. Well, there's tons of first-person shooters, and it's nice. I don't have to be excited for them because they're all the same.
You have to wait.
How many? It's all just a gun pointing into a screen.
I've never ever really thought about the difference between first-person shooters and third-person. I've played both of them, and it doesn't bother me at all if I'm in first-person or third-person. But in terms of things I don't play, obviously I don't play multiplayer because I have no internet, so I can't, even if I wanted to. But yeah, I pretty much play everything. None of you guys are really too big fans of horror games. I love horror games. Happy to play any big horror game that comes out. So obviously I love Resident Evil. I obviously really like stuff like, I'm just trying to think what are the horror games.
Have you got a PS2, Becky?
Do not know.
Oh, you should get one and get the Project Zero games. They're really good horror games. They're the best horror games.
Yeah, I'm quite open to a lot of things. I have to say the one thing that it's not a genre. Well, I guess it is actually. I really get frustrated by puzzle games that are really hard. I don't like it when like can be outsmarted by a machine, and I'm sort of going through the puzzle, and the first few levels are really easy, and then the last like 7 or 8 you just can't work out, and that really frustrates me. But I wouldn't say I avoid them.
Have you ever played Portal or Portal 2?
I've played Portal, yeah.
Oh, Portal 2. Have you had Portal 2?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that game. Absolutely love it. Amazing.
Yeah, I think literally my only genre that I would say I avoid, and it's not even by choice, is multiplayer, just because I don't have my internet here. Rural internet. People out there who have rural internet will know. It's not very good.
We're changing that.
I'll play Overwatch with you now on Xbox.
Probably get another question. It kind of inspired the question from me, but I won't bother.
Okay, yeah.
I just had some nostalgia for Portal 2, that's all, when I talked about it. It's so good. Such a great game.
I haven't played it first person.
Really?
Yeah, exactly.
Damn, it's not even a shooter. It's so good.
And it's amazing. It's one of the best games I've ever played. It's so good.
I've heard really good things.
It is good.
I'm sure I'll get stick for that, but I just can't be bothered.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. You're missing out. Okay, let's do a question then.
Yeah, Sean Mobsby asks, should PlayStation keep doing portable gaming into next gen? Does the Switch's success prove there's still a market for it when it's not badly managed like the Vita's life cycle? And I hope they do. I think the Vita could have been successful if there was more focus on the kind of remote play. I think it was a really good console.
Vita was successful. I think that's another misnomer. Vita was successful, just Sony stopped supporting it.
Yeah, that's the trouble.
How successful was the Switch though, really? I mean, is it really successful?
Isn't it the fastest selling console ever?
Yeah,
it's
quite successful.
But it's not about the start, it's about the finish. And is it slowing down now? I don't know if it is or not. I mean, I was just a general question. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying, how successful is it going to be? Do you know
Becky, when you're at work, what's the ratio roughly of the consoles that you sell?
Definitely PlayStation, then Nintendo, then Xbox.
Because I've spoken to a retailer as well, and they reckon they sell 10 PS4s for every Xbox they sell.
Yeah, we definitely sell more PlayStations. And then the Switch is quite... People do come in, though, and they say, I want a video game console I can take around with me. I'm like, well, there's literally just, there's one over there. That's what you're going to have to get if you want...
it's got rubbish games, but...
That's my problem with it. It's got rubbish games.
Yeah.
I just think the game's just not good.
I like the Switch.
I think if Sony can take everything that PS4 or PS5 does and make it portable, then it'd be a success. I think if they have to split the user base, which I know is a big ask, but if they have to split the user base like they have done with PSVR, I don't think it would be a success, because Sony are notoriously bad at dropping technology. I mean, if you look outside of the gaming universe and look at things like the UMD and the mini disc, and I mean, Blu-ray's taken off, but most of the technological advancements that Sony bring in drop. So Betamax was Sony as well back in the day. So they come up with these new ideas, get people to jump on board, and then bin them. So I think it needs to be a closed unit, one ecosystem.
Yeah, Sony's at its best when it concentrates on one thing, like it's done with PS4, and really sticks at it, and it's made it a success because it's brilliant, because it's put all its energy into it. So I agree with you, if they ever do, I mean, I think if I had the choice of a Switch and a portable PlayStation 5 or whatever, I would take the portable PlayStation 5 every day of the week. I wouldn't even have to think about it, because I know the games I prefer will be on that. I mean, I love my Switch, but to me there's nothing on it.
When was the last time you turned yours on? Mine's still December. It's not moved.
Why do you have one still now?
I did get Mario Tennis because I thought, I have to buy some game for this Switch. Bought Mario Tennis, played it for 2 minutes, thought this is rubbish, sent it back. So it's been on for about 2 minutes since December.
Yeah, I've got new games for it. Just can't be bothered to put them in.
To be fair, I did get Football Manager at one point, which I really enjoyed. So I enjoyed playing that on the Switch, but I could have bought it for £10 less on my iPad. I literally bought it for the Switch just so I'd play something on the Switch. But I could have played it on a bigger screen, the same game, on an iPad. So, I mean...
Better battery life.
So it's a bit like... I don't know. I just wish there was better games. Maybe if they brought out Animal Crossing or Pokemon or something...
You do need Animal Crossing.
I might get a bit of interest, but then it's the same
That
old
wouldn't
games.
interest me, though. Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the same old games you can play on your 3DS or whatever. I just wish they would... I don't know. I just wish the third parties would... Because, you know, if it was a PS5 portable, the third parties... If it was, like you say, the PS5, like, kind of amazing, powerful console, which... The games got pure amazing on your TV, but somehow they've bundled in this thing you can take with you and maybe play them in a smaller resolution or whatever, but you can take it with you. It's basically a PS version of the Switch, except when you plug it in, you get amazing looking games instead of rubbish looking games. Because I
shut my window.
Because I think when you plug the Switch into the TV, you lose something personally. I don't know if it's the controllers or whatever, I don't know what it is, but I think when you put the Switch into TV, it's just not the same as when you're playing it in handheld mode. If there's going to be a PS5 which does that sort of thing, I want the main focus to be on the screen, not on what I'm holding in my hand. I want that to be the wow factor. Wow, this is PS5 and don't you know it, because the games are in 4K, the games are all amazing, really awesome. And then if you take it away and it's a lesser experience, but it's still amazing, and that's good, because you know you'll have the catalogue games, and if you can play your PS4 games, even better. But I mean, I don't know. I want it to happen, but I don't want it to be to the detriment of the next PlayStation console.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's that. So I've got a sir. Anyone else getting to say on that?
I think I said what I needed to. Have you, either of you you've got a Vita, haven't you, Nick? Have you got one, Becky?
I have not a Vita, no.
Missing out.
Yeah, it's so good. I love my Vita. Like, when the Ratchet and Clank trilogy was on there, although I think that's one thing that's annoyed me most about it, is the fact that obviously where they've just abandoned it, obviously no games on it get patches, do they?
No.
It's just absolutely pathetic. 'Cause obviously I bought Ratchet and Clank trilogy to play them all again, and I couldn't.
Who's the dev? Tell them.
I have it. I think it's like Mass Media, the ones that like poured it over, I think.
Right.
And I have contacted them. I've sent them emails. I've done everything. They just ignore it all, and it's
Joe,
just not going to see a patch.
Can Becky borrow your axe? Nick, send Becky the address, and she'll go around there, do a real life Bloodborne on them.
Yeah, I'll be happy then.
There we go. That can be the hobby you take up.
Yeah.
Making people patch trophy locks. Yeah.
Okay, right. We all agree it would be nice, but not to the detriment of the PS5. I think we're agreeing on that, don't we? Okay, that was the last question. So we're going to play our quiz, but we've only got one question. We've only got one question this week because I ran out of time and my iMac's broken. So I managed to do it before it shut down. It keeps shutting itself down every time I try and do something. So I managed to sort one quiz question out. I think it is, you know. So I think that he's got a large part of playing it because my iPad, the back of my iPad's really roasting as well. So I think all the electronics in my house are just melting inside.
You tried frying an egg on your iPad?
You probably could, actually. You probably could.
There you go.
Oh dear.
I'm more likely to make some cookies on it, but I could try with some eggs. Do like an egg now and again. Okay, let's do it. Right. Ultimately, there's a whole lot to like about this release and very little to gripe about. My increasingly busy self would have loved some kind of real-time save or rewind feature just to help getting through these games less painful. But even without the crutch, these games are a lot of fun and provide a good challenge, the first game especially. Taking a step back from the games themselves, the job... Oh no, I won't read that bit. No, that's it. We'll cut
That's it.
because it'll give it away.
Crash Bandicoot?
Right, let me read the user review. Amazing and great recreation of a classic everything is perfect about this game. It stays true to its roots and pumps up difficulty bigly. Don't know what bigly means. That must be. That's a new word. This is a remake, not a remaster. 1440p on PS4 Pro. What was the guesses?
Well,
Crash.
I think we all think Crash.
Yeah, you're right, but you never even let me finish.
I thought when you said
not...
especially the first game, I was like, oh, that's Crash.
Yeah.
I know what that means.
I wanted to do a couple more, but I never got time. But yeah.
We're just too good.
Well, we are this week. I don't know, it took a while last week.
Yeah. Depends.
Okay, I'm melting. Right, good. I think we better wrap this up before I'm a puddle. Right, okay, good. Thank you, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed us all being on video together for the first time. When it gets a bit cooler, it'll probably be easier to do this. Because it's so roasting in this room. It's unbelievable. Don't forget, follow us at squarexo.co.uk, our wonderful website with all the latest reviews, competitions and more. Twitter.com/square_XO is where you'll find us on Twitter, and if you back us on patreon.com/SquareXO, it'll be appreciated. Even every little helps from $1 onwards. Whatever you can do, I should mention, you'll be entered into our Patreon only competition, which we drew last week on this very podcast. Or not on this very podcast, but the last very podcast. We drew the winner last week, so that's good. Don't forget to enter our competition. It's of SquareXO, hashtags SQXO July. Take your favourite screenshots, hit the share button, and enter that tag on the end of it, and you'll be entered into the competition. Listen to us on YouTube, Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, or all those places. And I think that's just about it. I would say good luck to England, but I wouldn't mean it, so I won't. But you never know. They got there. They've done well. They could only face. They beat Panama. Scotland would beat Panama. They beat Panama. They beat Tunisia. They beat Colombia. They got beat with Brazil's reserves. Not Brazil, Belgium's reserves. But they could only face who they had to face, and they got there. So everyone's in it now. There's 2 games to go. 4 teams left. It's anybody's. You never know who's going to win it.
France.
Right, predictions before we go. Who's going to win it? I'm going to say...
Yeah, I'd say France as well. Although I know nothing about football.
I'm going to say England just because I want to be that much of an optimist.
Yeah. Good one, Nick. You're the best of all of us.
Yeah, because I'm going to be like the prophet if that's actually true.
Yeah.
I'd rather Scotland win it, but that'll never happen. Ever. I'm not even that much of an optimist that I would think Scotland would ever win the World Cup. I'm not even that much an optimist that I think we'll ever get there again at this rate. Yeah. You never know.
Well, no, don't they up? I know this is a PlayStation podcast, but the next World Cup's got 64 teams, isn't it? So you've got a chance. You can't be that bad.
They've even made the European Championships a bit easier to help us get there. So
yeah.
Well or not, I don't know. We'll see. We've got some good players now, actually. We've got some good players coming through too. The Liverpool player, what's his name? Robinson.
No one cares about Liverpool.
That Robinson guy, Champions League finalist, he's got to be worth about 7 million. He's Scottish. Kieran Tierney, who plays for them lot. Everton linked him for 25 million. We've got some good players coming through. You never know. We might be there. It might be. See, it's coming home. Didn't Scotland invent football? It's coming home. Pretty sure Scotland. Pretty sure the very first football team in the world was in Scotland, so it's not really coming home. It's coming close to home. It's not coming home at all.
No one cares. No one cares.
Yeah,
Everyone's gone.
like...
We should just start a football podcast. Me and you, Dan. That'd be good.
Yeah. My views on football are probably quite different to yours, though.
Possibly.
Yeah.
You like
proper football,
English football, and I like Scottish football.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, let's stop talking about. I'm sure somebody's interested. The girls don't look too interested.
Yeah, we're
interested
just like
football.
I'm trying to fake it, but I don't know how to be excited for football.
No.
I love it. I love it.
Don't jump on ambulances. That's not how to be excited.
No, that was a bit silly.
No, that was silly.
I don't get that. I thought there was a brilliant contrast because they showed the English fans jumping on the ambulance, and the ambulance has been wrecked and taken out of commission. So, I mean, that's just thick and stupid, innit? And then they showed us a video of a Russian fan jumping on a police van, and as soon as he got down from it, these Russian police appeared out of nowhere. About 4 of them just started battering them with a stick. And it's like, that's how you stop them jumping an ambulance. He's battering them with sticks.
I need to correct you on your first comment there. You say it's not all England fans. It's a very small minority of idiots that drink too much. It's not everyone that follows England.
No, but I just mean it was England fans when
No,
they
I
were
know. But
celebrating.
the internet's very quick to blame it on a whole when it's a very small group.
Yeah, I know. It's a bit like when it's Rangers and Celtic and they're going, oh, they're all bigots or whatever, and it's going, no, it's just a few idiots, isn't it?
Yeah, wake up, Becky.
No,
She's yawning in there.
Okay, right,
Quick, talk
okay.
about Bloodborne. Talk about Bloodborne.
Talk about Bloodborne. See, I bet if they brought out a Bloodborne football game, Rebecca would be like,
like a
no.
what's a fantasy football, like fantasy football, Bloodborne style.
Yeah.
You can all just kill each
They'll
other.
hack each other's heads off. Go! Kicking his head into
Be
the
more
net.
interesting.
Yay. So he's got Blood Bowl. Blood
So
Bowl.
that's all that does
Where is
not
the
sound.
Game.
Maybe she should check Blood Bowl out.
You should.
Okay, anyway, that's enough of that. Enough of that. Okay, thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll be back next week with episode 68, and hopefully it'll be a bit cooler, which will make things a lot easier
Yep.
to do. But in the meantime, we're off. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next
Oh my
time.
god.
Oh my gosh.
Bye.
We just did that.
Bye.
Can't believe we just did that.
Uh,
That's it. I'm going. Bye.
bye.